welcome. This may be a short video because we've had problems with the internet, so I don't know how long it's going to last for. So say hello when you come in, please, and confirm that you can hear me. But yeah, just to let you know, hi MJ, just to let you know that this may not last. We're having continual issues with the internet. Hi Caroline. So, it may freeze and cut out, and I may have to abandon it because I'm not wrestling with an internet connection. Yeah, it just dropped again just now. Hi Tony, hi Tywin, hi Glynis. In media, it does popping out. And I've been working this afternoon, working a recipe card. Thomas, hello, Abby. And it's been open for a few hours, but it was in and out. So, hi, Anne. I mean, in this day and age, it's just ridiculous. It really is, because, they've got to understand people rely on the internet for business, as we do. Hello there, Judy. Hi, Vanessa. So, yeah. Yeah, annoying. Very, very annoying. Well, I'm feeling a little tired this afternoon. Hi there. Didn't sleep too well last night. Hello there, Sam. Hi, Debbie Ann. Hi, Karen. Yeah, I didn't too well last night, but 3 and couldn't quite to sleep, which was rather unfortunate. Yeah, so, but despite that, I haven't actually had an afternoon day. So, because I'm working on the computer. Hi, Ronnie. Well, Courtney, we maintain a stable connection for a reasonable amount of time because it's been dropping in. Hi, Trandans. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Dean. Yeah, it's been dropping in and out quite regularly, which is it's just tedious. It's like being on dial-up again. You remember the days of Paul? We didn't use the phone because you were on. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Pamela. Yeah, so, but it's tiresome when you're working on a project and you're working between multiple windows on your computer, and some of them are sort of relying on the internet, and you go to click and nothing happens, and then you have to wait for it to. It's very good. I don't like it. Not efficient. And who are you with? Which internet are you with? It'd be interesting to know. We are with Virgin Media. It's usually absolute, very, very fast, and generally reliable. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Jeanette. Well, Yvonne, it's been cool here. It's kind of 15 degrees, really chilly. With now.
No, it won't. No, it won't. It'll be
Okay, can you let me know whether I'm back?
You are.
Okay, so what we're going to try and do is I'm going to try and just hotspot from Paul's phone and see if that will improve the connection. So can you bear with me? Can you just bear with us a second? Can you tell me? Okay, so we've hotspotted to the phone. Can you all see me again now? Okay, so we've hotspotted to. I should be back again now, everybody. Yeah, back again. Okay, so hopefully that will have solved the problem and that should stay stable. We're on a 4G connection on the phone now, so hopefully that will have solved the issue. I can go on. It take more than that to put me off, I can tell you. So it's good. I mean, it is good that we've got solutions like that, but however, it's now using data from another source. So yeah.
But that's fine.
But that's okay. We can carry on. Hi there, Steve. Sorry, have I missed anybody? I do apologise if I have. Okay. So this week has been a busy week. I've been preparing the recipe cards for release. So there are now, I'm pleased to announce, a collection of 10 recipe cards available on our coffee shop. So that's exciting. I'm really, really pleased with them. And actually, already I've referred to one of them myself because they're really handy to have if you've got a recipe and you need a quick reminder of either the ingredients or the method as a prompt. So I really like them. I'm really pleased to bring them to you. So check them out when you've got a chance, and they're designed to accompany the video. So they've got links embedded in them too, which will take you straight to the video. So I'm really, really pleased. Yes, Tony, thank you. There are now 10 in there, which is really pleased. So I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. So yeah, it's really pleasing to see them all there as a collection. And there will be more, many more to come. But they do take a while to produce, as you can imagine. They're not quick to produce because they do have to be proofread and checked. Make sure there's no mistakes. Yeah, really pleased. Thank you, Debbie Ann. So yeah, we're having a light dinner this evening because I made an omelette for lunch with some leftover potatoes, and you'll see that in next week's vlog. So I'm trying to do as much cookery as possible because I know so many of you really enjoy it, and I really enjoy making them, and I've sort of got into a really good routine now. And whenever I go into the kitchen to cook something, I take you along with me. So I'm really, really pleased how those are working out too, which is good. The editing is quite hard work, but I'm also trying to learn new ways of editing as well. the editing program that we've got, which is Adobe Premiere Pro, has so many features on it, but you never really get round to using all the features. So you have to sort of train yourself to learn new features, you know? Yeah. I don't know whether I'm getting all of the messages. That courgette layer bake,
Oh,
Debian, is
that's
so
divine.
just so delicious. I'm a little bit obsessed with the courgettes at the moment. But what has now happened is there is now a lull in courgette production. Paul,
Indeed.
I mean, you know, when has that ever happened before? It's normally so many courgettes you just don't know what to do with them, which is kind of why I decided to do a series of courgette recipes, because actually, if they're cooked a certain way, i.e. baked and really baked until, you know, they're starting to go golden, it really brings out the flavors. And when they become silky soft, it's so lovely in a bake, you know, it really is. I know we have eaten them all. So what's next, Paul, in terms of harvests? What are we expecting? We've had garlic today, a huge amount of garlic.
I prepped it, yeah, I cut it. So there's beetroot.
Beetroot. Oh, come on, Paul, keep the kettle boiling.
Oh, beetroot.
Beetroot. Any chard?
Some chard coming.
Yeah, because I'd like to do some recipes with chard. Anything else?
Tomatoes.
Hi, Rebecca.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes are coming in now, which is really good. So we will be doing various recipes, but I did try, I think I mentioned it in my vlog, or I'm mentioning it in the upcoming vlog, that I'm trying a tomato sauce using the microwave. You know that we did the pasta sauce in the oven, which takes about an hour and a half to do. So I thought, surely I can do this in the microwave where it will be less energy and a quicker cook. So I tried it out the other day. We had a pasta bake with that. And yeah, it really worked well. So I'll be bringing that recipe to you again. I'm going fuzzy again. Okay.
I can still hear you.
Yeah. It's the best we can do, Dean. It is the best we can do this evening. It's probably not as good a connection. So Sarah, courgettes are really nice if they're cooked really, really well with lots of other flavors. I'm fuzzy apparently, blurred and fuzzy.
But you can be heard, so put up with it.
Yeah, it'll have to do, I'm afraid, guys. Yeah, sorry about this. I know we don't normally have these issues. Technology. Yeah. So yeah, it has been a fairly busy week with bits and pieces of cookery, editing, you know, just stuff, really. Yeah. Ah, Sarah, well, school dinners, you know, that's a bit hit and miss, isn't it, really? If I look back at the school dinners that we used to have, I hated school dinners. I really did. And I always ended up having packed lunches because I hated the smell of the canteen. Thank you, Penny. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the courgette recipes that I've done so far. I really, really think they've worked well. Hello there, Paul. Yeah, I think that whole school dinner thing, that communal eating thing, I think some kids find that quite difficult.
I hated it.
And quite overwhelming. I mean, the whole sort of atmosphere of a canteen, a school canteen, um, is quite noisy, very steamy, lots of smells, all of that kind of thing. And I think that can be quite difficult for some kids to deal with. And I think it was quite hard for me to deal with. Um, I remember the kids that were having packed lunches sort of sat on a table at the end of the canteen near the door. I'm not sure why, but I found that easier to bear, easier to cope with. And I'm the same now. I don't like overcrowded environments that are very noisy. There's no update on the washing machine, Jeanette. I did badger Becco via social media, and I was told that the part was going to be in stock today, but I've not heard anything from them. So that's the update on the washing machine. Hi, Angela. Yeah, so I'm actually still doing hand washing in very small batches, and I'm coping with that fine. I still have the offer from several people of using a washing machine, but I've kind of just been doing my own thing and, you know, getting stuff done by hand. And actually, that's kind of suited my routine this week because I can do about 7 items of clothes in about half an hour, as opposed to an hour and a half washing machine cycle. So, and also I'm using my technique for drying, using the fan, putting them on the maiden and pointing a fan at them. Amazing how quickly they dry. Amazing. So, yeah, for those of you who haven't caught up, we've been having internet connections. I'm using Paul's phone as a hotspot to connect because our internet connection is really dodgy at the moment. So I'm glad you're enjoying the recipes, Judy. Thank you. Well, Debbie Ann, I'm using our Belfast sink in the kitchen and a bucket, and that works really well. Yeah. So yeah, not having a problem hand washing. I used to do hand washing when I was younger. In the 80s, I had a lot of white clothes, and I was never happy with my mum doing washes because she had a habit of accidentally putting something red in with my whitewash and turned everything pink once. So yeah, I wasn't too happy. So I used to do everything by hand. Yeah. Ziploc, I'm sorry about that. There's not an awful lot I can do about that. Yeah, we have supposedly very good internet, but occasionally things go wrong, and I think that's what's happened. There has been a reasonably major issue in this area, so it's something that's out of our control. Thank goodness we do have mobile connections as well, so that's good. Oh, Rebecca, you've not had any courgettes, oh dear. Normally they go crazy, don't they? And everybody's overrun with courgettes. Yeah.
Ours are flowering again and forming again.
So we are going to have some
5 or 6 days off.
5 or 6 days off. Gosh, they grow quickly, huh? So yeah, generally things are good for us. Weather-wise, it's a lot cooler. Like I said before, it's down to 19 now. But we're busy as usual, doing stuff, always editing, always filming. We'll hear Courtney. It is, yeah, it's 19 degrees centigrade today. It is, it's feeling quite cool. And next week in the north of the country, there is Storm Floris on the way. Yeah, which is apparently bringing high winds and lots of rain. Yeah. I like that, Penny. Yeah, so things are good, things are busy. Just trying to think if anything else happened this week of note. No, it's just been sort of get your head down and work, Richard, you know. I don't like, I think I've mentioned this before, but I don't like doing extended periods on the computer because my eyes aren't great and they get tired quite quickly. And yeah, I do find it tedious. I honestly don't know how I used to spend 7 hours a day on the computer at work because that's what I used to do. Um, we didn't get any thunderstorms, which I was quite annoyed about. Nothing at all. I think Vivi mentioned that she had a clap of thunder down in Swanage, and I know that there was some off the Essex coast, but we had nothing, nothing at all. I want a refund. Dave's family is in Yorkshire. They may get some very wet weather next week and very high winds because apparently it's an unseasonable low pressure coming over. So it's going to cause quite a lot of disruption apparently. But down south where we are, I don't think we're going to get that. And the weather looks pretty calm, but there doesn't seem to be a return to the heat that we've had, which is fine by me, no problem at all. You were talking about eyesight. Yeah, I've been short-sighted since I was a child. And then I had in my right eye, I had a detached retina back in 2004, had to have an operation. Unfortunately, they couldn't save the sight from that part of the eye, so I'm partially blind in my right eye. So yeah. Yeah, Sarah, I don't think we're going to get it down here. I think it's only up north. Thank goodness.
Caroline was saying that she used to read lips as a child because of her eyesight.
Right.
And I said about you didn't know your eyesight was...
No, I didn't. I thought everybody saw the way I saw when I was a child. And my mum saw me struggling to see the TV and said, "Can you see that?" And yeah, my eyes appeared to have suddenly deteriorated in a short space of time. Yeah. Sorry, ICU. This is excruciating by. Okay, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Okay, fair enough, whatever. So yeah, eyesight, not good on the computer. But I have done quite a lot this week, which is good, but tiring. So I've got to the end of the week feeling a little bit, whew, that was a busy one. Do you know that feeling? No, that person's not a troll. They've made several comments in the past, and yeah, I thought they were fine with our channel, but clearly not. So, you know, at the end of the day, people make the choice to either watch or go away. And, you know, I'm sorry that
Doesn't
people
matter.
people don't enjoy what I do. You know, at the end of the day, this is a group of people that have come together on a regular basis for the live show. And that person has actually made comments in the past about how clicky everything is on this channel.
They're blocked now.
But, you know, hey. I don't think it's anything to do with the connection. I think they just like to make nasty comments, but they're blocked now. Paul's got rid of them. Yeah. I mean, it's just a chat, isn't it? I mean, what do people expect me to do? Sing and dance? You know, I mean, we're just chatting, aren't we? Chatting about the week, what's happened and what's to come. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, Glynis. Yeah, I mean, you know, life is not perfect, you know. And I think some people expect things to be, you know, amazingly spectacular. And, you know, life isn't like that. Life is kind of humdrum and routine very often. You know, we all know the joys of going to work and, you know, having to do the same thing day in, day out. And I'm glad now that at least my days are a little bit more varied in terms of when I choose to do things, you know. So, yeah. Well, Penny, just to finish on that person, they've made comments before that I've kind of challenged, and they clearly don't seem to be, you know, very satisfied with what I've got to say or do. So, you know, hey ho. Yeah, and it's an interesting thing, you know, because we've always said we're not a channel that does sensational stuff, you know. We're just a channel that does our life. We show our life. That's it, you know. And life is not spectacular. You know, we're not the kind of people that do sensational things for views. That's the thing, you know. Hi, Beatrice. And at the end of the day, you know, if people find it boring, then fine. Don't watch. Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Vanessa. Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it a cult necessarily, but, you know, we are a friendly group of people at the end of the day, and we all rub along. And what we try to do is we try to acknowledge all of the comments that we get. We try to reply to most of the comments that we get. And there are a lot of channels that don't do any of that, you know? So we like to give good customer service. That's all I can say on the matter, really. If somebody has taken the time to make a comment and share something, then surely it's only polite and good-natured to reply to that comment. Do you know what I mean? And I've noticed when I've left comments on certain channels, they just don't bother even getting back to you. And I think that's really rude. I really do. So, are people looking at the crowns again? Who are the top fans today? Let's have a look. Ooh, Sam at number 1, Jeanette at number 2, Tony number 3, 4 is Sally, 5 is Glynis, 6 Karen at the plot, 7 Molly. Paul, you're number 8, but you've not got a crown. Yvonne is number 9 and MJ's number 10. I'm not carrying on. I'm not doing the whole lot. Supernatural, Angela. Well, funny you should mention that. Yes, we were watching TV the other evening. It was still light and there was a noise and it sounded like woo, woo, like that. And Paul said it was kind of behind him. And he jumped up and said, what the XXXX was that? And I said, I heard that as well. And walked around the house to find out where it had come from and had no idea. Yeah, it was a really weird noise. Supernatural. I've had a few things happen to me when I was a child. I used to see things when I was a child. But of course, nobody believed me because, of course, children have wild imaginations, and I did. As an adult, I can't say I've seen things. I tend to get impressions in my head. And sometimes it feels as though that impression is overlaid on top of reality. That's the only way I can describe it. And I don't really talk about it because I don't want to make anything sensational out of it, you know, because that's not who I am. I remember in the flat that we lived in prior to this, I used to sense a man sat in an armchair in the corner of the room where there wasn't an armchair. And I can see him in my mind's eye now. He's wearing a tank top, one of those sort of like 40s knitted tank top, and sort of tweed trousers. Yeah, and I used to see him quite often and it didn't used to frighten me. It didn't feel malevolent. In this house, I've seen a few shadows and I was really freaked out once. Paul was out, I was doing some decorating, I was stripping wallpaper, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a shadow go down the hallway. And all of our 3 cats that were all alive at the time all ran after it. And there was nothing there. So, yeah. I get words in my head occasionally and it keeps repeating and then I'll see it or I'll hear it. Yeah. So, yeah. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Jane. Sorry, just catching up with the comments. Oh, goodness me, Courtney, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Courtney. That's amazing. Thank you for that. That's fantastic. I think children are sensitive to things. I think animals are sensitive to things. I think if you were sensitive as a child, I think you retain it. I don't really talk about it that often. I don't really go into details. I just accept it. I actually think everybody is sensitive to something else. I mean, even scientists talk about parallel dimensions in space and time. And if those things do exist, perhaps there is some form of mechanism within us that enables us to access certain things at certain times. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an expert on those things. I just accept it. I mean, I used to be a little bit more into that kind of stuff. I used to read Native American tarot, and I also studied the runes for many years, and used to read the runes for people as a form of divination. And the runes are very interesting because they never lie, and they always throw up something that is relevant for the person. Meditation, I think, is very important. And also, I think having a meditative period of time every day is very important for me. So that could be just a time where you sit and just let your mind relax a little bit by focusing on one thing. I think people tend to think that meditation is difficult to do. And of course, it's not. I used to do a walking meditation where I'd walk around and just focus on my feet and just focus on step by step, look at my feet, walk, just look at my feet, and that would be it. That's really, really easy to do. Yes, Sarah, they are, they can be anything. They can be on paper, wood, stone. They're an ancient alphabet, basically, which that seems to tell a story. It's very difficult, the runes, because their real meaning is kind of lost over time, because they would have been an oral tradition. They would have been passed on by word of mouth. So very little is written down about the runes. Yeah. Nettie, try it. Just walk around and just focus on the feet and the footsteps. Very easy to do. I occasionally sit in a corner and rock as well, Debbie Ann. That's right, Jeanette. So the Fodok is the first. You've got the three Atia, so they're split into three sections. So, and some rune scholars believe that the whole alphabet is a cosmological story. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting. I've not picked up the runes for a long time. Hi, Lynn. Well, it is also, I mean, anything that you hold, you know, whether it's rune stones, whether it's crystals, whether it's tarot cards, it's tactile as well. It's sensory as well, you know, all of that. It's kind of, when you do divination, in a way, there are two different ways of doing it. There's the really real honest way where you're just telling what is there. And then, of course, some people add a bit of showmanship into it as well, which I don't really believe in. I just believe in telling what is there.
Do you remember Derek Paul?
Well, yeah. Sorry, just catching up. It is very useful, Cheryl. I think some people find it a challenge because, you know, there's that old saying, you know, clear your mind. Well, you can't clear your mind. It's it's an impossible task to clear your mind. The only time your mind is clear is when you're dead, basically, because the mind is working all the time to, help the body function. So the way to meditate is to have some form of focal point. Hi, Linda. To have some form of focal point, which is the only thing you focus on, which helps calm the mind. That's the key. Well, Angela, it's something I've decided not to do because I think it's quite divisive, because there's, some people that believe, some people that don't. And I don't really want to attract that kind of energy into this channel, really. Sorry, just catching up. Yeah, exactly, Nettie. People try too hard. And, for me, sometimes it can be sitting here, looking out of the window and focusing on a bush or a tree, thinking about the leaves, the branches, how they move, how they look, all of that kind of thing, but just focusing on that one thing. And when things disturb me, like a car going past or a child screaming, I acknowledge it and then go back to what I'm focusing on. And I find that really helps. Yeah, Cheryl, I think that's the one that we've been watching. Yeah. What is my next thought? Absolutely, Molly. I've done that one myself. Hello, green-eyed monster. I love sensory stuff, Sarah. I really do. Yeah. I would buy all sorts of sensory stuff, but I don't. Sorry, just catching up. Sorry, everybody. Sometimes it's hard to calm yourself down by telling yourself to calm down. So watching something that is maybe inanimate or doing a little bit of studying of something can be really helpful. Taking an object, looking at it, thinking about how it's been made, what the process were, what the colors are, how it feels, whether it's hard or soft, all of those kind of things can be really interesting to do. We enjoyed it. I mean, the paranormal thing, yeah, we quite enjoyed it. I enjoy things more like that more than Paul does. I kind of like to be a little bit scared. I quite enjoy it. Yes, I have used divining rods, yeah, many years ago. And yeah, just for fun at the time, I think. I made them with some coat hangers and I think some empty Bic biros. I think I did them with that. I can't remember. But yes, I had them swinging and I was moving around asking for it to detect water. Yes, a frisson of fear. I enjoy that. Yeah, I'm not into gore for the sake of gore. No, I like a bit of paranormal stuff. That's what I like.
And UFO.
And UFO stuff. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And of course, there's the object that's been detected by the what's the name of the object? Atlas 1 or something. I can't remember. That is due to come through the solar system in October. Some have said that it may be an interstellar craft with interstellar occupants, calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? I do like a good ghost story. Yes, Debbie Ann, I have used a Ouija board. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we used to do a thing called Spirit in the Glass with my grandma, where we used to have the glass on the table and some cards with letters of the alphabet and yes and no. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I the whole thing with aliens, I think there are various things going on in the human psyche. I mean, I would love it if there was a benevolent race of super beings that would come down to Earth like the Vulcans in Star Trek and help us move forward with humanity in terms of energy, in terms of disease, all of that. Oh, by Glynis, that's kind of like a fantasy, that it would help move humanity on out of this awfulness that we find ourselves in as the human race now, you know. Yeah, I'd love that to happen, but I don't know. We may be being observed. Who knows? Who can say? But there's no proof. And, also, as well as being somebody who kind of likes a bit of paranormal, a little bit of woo-woo occasionally, and a little bit of UFO stuff, I've also got a scientific side to me as well, that really wants to get some proof. Do you know what I mean? Hi, Shaz. Smudging. Yeah, lovely. I love a bit of incense as well, but I don't tend to use it too much now. I tend to use quite a lot of essential oils in oil burners, my favorite being lemongrass and lavender. I love. Lemongrass is really good for clearing, totally changing the feeling of a room, totally freshening it. Yeah. Well, Lucy, you've got a point, because at the moment, I think the human race is, in many ways, failing miserably, you know. Oh, Rebecca. Well, I don't think I've ever been abducted. Although I've always said to Paul, if they come down, I'm going to say to them, take me with you. I want to go. Hi, Darren. It does, Angela. Yeah, don't get me started on that. Debbie Ann, have I ever been to a clairvoyant? Yeah, I've been to a few clairvoyants over the years. Many, many years ago, I went to one in Stockport. She was recommended through word of mouth. I think it was Stockport. Was it Cheadle? Can't remember. And yeah, she was very accurate. I saw another one in Crewe. She was also very accurate, gave me a lot of very accurate information. And I went to see one at a psychic fair here in Ealing when my mum died. Yeah. No, Angela, she didn't. But yeah, I mean, I think like anything, I genuinely think there are some people who do have a gift. And I think it's a case of really working on that gift to hone it as much as possible. Can you pass me a tissue, please, Paul? So I think, you know, you're taking a chance, and I wish everybody could just trust their own instincts, because I think we've all got the gift. And I think you can learn to trust yourself with decision making, for example. A lot of people find that very hard, but you've got to trust. And I think people find that difficult too. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going through the comments. I think there's a few people I've missed. Hi, JD. Sorry, Bond777. I don't know what you mean by get in line. I'm sorry to hear that, Nettie. Sorry, just having a look. Well, yeah, I mean, I think clairvoyancy and all of that and psychic readings, you know, they always kind of have to caveat this is for entertainment purposes. And I think if it's viewed in that way, it is it's for entertainment. And also I think, and I do believe this, I don't think people should charge for those kind of services. If you have a genuine gift and you can tell somebody something that you are feeling about them, or you have an instinct or a premonition maybe, people shouldn't have to pay you money for that, you know? I don't think so. I believe that that kind of thing should be free. But I think there are a lot of people that prey upon vulnerable people. So when I lost my mum, which was a long time ago now, I was a vulnerable person. So vulnerable people will take on board what you tell them, you know? So I think it should be free. I've never charged anybody when I was doing tarot and runes. I never charged a penny. I just did it because people found out that I did it, and I just did it, you know. And it's how you use your language as well, you know.
What did Mum read? Those books on Perry Dimes?
Doris Stokes.
Doris Stokes.
Yeah. Yeah, does anybody remember Doris Stokes? Yeah. I mean, the other one that a lot of people watch is Psychic Sally. Well, we read the news about her, didn't we? That she was using earpieces and being fed the information, you know?
On the foyer.
Yeah. So Paul worked briefly for Derek Acora, did some marketing work for him, didn't you, Paul?
Yeah.
And of course, he was quite a troubled person. I won't say any more because it's obviously that, you know, they have a family and it's their private business. But
his wife was lovely.
but his wife was very nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. Um, I wouldn't trust that person as far as I could throw them. Yeah. So lemon balm, it's kind of quite lemony. Yeah. But lemongrass is sharper, much sharper smell, especially the essential oil. It's divine. I love it. I had a weird thing happen to me many years ago, and it was after my mum died. I was quite depressed, and I was in the queue at WH Smith, and it got to my turn, and the person on the till was ringing up the items. I think this was before they had like barcode scanning. And she turned to me and looked me right in the eye and grabbed my hand and said, "I've been watching you. You're going to be fine." Took her hand away and carried on. And I did that just happen? It was almost like somebody channeled through her and gave me this message. And then she carried on and didn't say anything further. And I was so sort of taken aback that I just sort of carried on and walked off. And I can't say it was a pivotal moment, but it made me feel as though some kind of energy had been passed on to me for some reason. Yeah. So, yeah, I think trust your instinct. Trust your instinct, Angela. I didn't find it scary. I just found it a bit disarming. And I was going through a really weird time. Um, so everything seemed surreal to me at that moment. But it did take me aback, you know, it was a little bit strange. Yeah. Yes, Beatrice, you've got to be careful with animals in the house with essential oils. Absolutely. You've got to, it's not too bad if you're using an oil burner, because you can control the amount you use. So it's just a gentle amount. Um, but yeah, you've got to be careful. So there we go. So we're at an hour now. So we're going to start tying up because it's time for us to have something to eat now. Oh, that's sweet, Sally. A lot of people believe that robins carry spirits or energy. We had a robin in the house, didn't we?
Came on my knee.
That Paul was sat here and a robin in the house jumped onto his knee and sat looking at him. That's God's honest truth. Yeah. It's quite dull here as well, Angela. It's clouded over now. Keeps threatening as though it might rain, but doesn't materialize. We're having a very light supper because we had that big omelette at lunchtime. So we're just having some hummus, some coleslaw, some pita breads. Yeah, Rebecca, you've got to be careful with incense. It does catch sometimes. Paul had to gently shoo the robin out of the door and get it to go away. So 4 magpies, what's that? 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy. 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told, 8 for a wish, 9 for a kiss, 10 for a something you will not miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm so sorry about the start, about how that all went a bit crazy with this internet connection. But we recovered eventually. Yeah, we did our best and we managed to turn it around, which is good. So, yeah. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me here this evening as usual. Hopefully next week we will have a stable connection from the beginning and be able to maintain momentum or gather momentum as quickly as possible. So thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I really do. Okay. Bye for now, everybody. We'll see you for Sunday chat.
Sunday chat.
Yeah. And thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. You're always so kind. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you on some early Sunday morning. And then Paul will see you on Monday for a week at the plot. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Lisa. Take care, everybody. I'm going to put the phone down first. I am. I'm going to do it now. Take care, everybody. Bye for now. You're welcome.